As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I have been up since 3:45. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Good morning, all. Good morning, all. I'm going to end up taking this stuff off, but I did try to paint my nails. My nails are getting longer. I wanted to be patriotic. I had white on here, and it just didn't go so well. So try again. This is why I don't like doing my own stuff. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am so happy that you guys are all here. We're going to wait for a few more people to jump in. I just want to let everybody know, if you guys have not received a notification this morning, please, please, please go out, unsubscribe, resubscribe, and change your bell to all. Change your bell to all. Sometimes we hit different things and don't realize that we've knocked our notifications off. It will not change your membership if you are a member, and it will not change your wrench if you are a wrench. There are some people that were not wrenched yesterday that have been wrenched last night. So, it's an honor to have a wrench on the Bullhorn Betty channel. It doesn't mean that you are a member. It just means you are a valued person here on the channel. Many of you guys know, the more I get to know you, the more I like you, the more I trust you, the more I give you, more things. So far, we only have 25 people here, so we're just going to chat a little bit as people wake up. I know we're bouncing around with times, but I have to go on live when I can go live. I wasn't going to go to North Carolina. I have decided I am going to go to North Carolina. So that does, that's why I'm going live today, is because I've got to get things together and get out of here today at some point. I'm still waiting for my other stuff to come in the mail. So it's stuff that I need to take with me. So just to run down. Good morning, Anissa, my beautiful Anissa and Karen. You guys are great. Tammy, good morning. Aspen, not familiar with you, but welcome to the Bullhorn Betty channel. Happy to have you here. Tammy, Pebbles, nice to see you. Nancy, good morning. Pink Phoenix, good afternoon here. Well, good afternoon, my love. I hope everything is going well with you. Tea and biscuits, love it, love it, love it. Perfect. We love tea as well. As you can tell, I love tea as well. I love the cup more. I have to be honest. I love the cup more. So, good morning. Good morning, Nancy. So good morning, everyone. As many of you guys know that I did not see yesterday, we do have a new intro. I'm not sure what my exit's going to be. I am working on that. We have a lot of stuff that we're going to cover today. Yesterday we went through, some Candace discussing, at the water hole with Chris McDonough. I did get another couple videos up. Again, credit to Chris McDonough. I, want to make sure that we cover every bit of this. And quite frankly, he had his feet on the ground way in advance in this. He got some footage that no other creator has ever been able to get, months and months ago, last year. We're almost coming. Believe it or not, this baby girl has been gone for 10 months in a few days. It'll be 10 full months. So it's a very sad case. This is not, oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Pink Phoenix. It's nice to hear you. So, but we've had this been going on for a while, and what's kind of sparking all this deep dive and digging into further stuff, which many of you know I don't usually do. I really don't. Our team member, and somebody was saying yesterday here in the chat that, our team is dissolved. First of all, from out the gate, we are individuals. We all have our own channels. We all have our own individual presence in social media. Olivia has Chronicles of Olivia. JLR has Jonathan Lee Riches, aka JLR. Andra, aka Bullhorn Betty. We get together collectively and go on these cases when we're in the field. We do not go out in the field typically by ourselves. Now, when we're in transit to other stuff, like, for example, Jonathan was heading to Michigan from Georgia, from a rally in Georgia. She was heading to the rally in Michigan. I was in the rally in Georgia, and we went over to Jackie Dobbs' house. So we work. I was not able to go to the Michigan. Was I able? I could have gone to Michigan, but here's the kicker. We are planning a trip in beginning of May for us to go out there to cover a case, right? I don't know if Jonathan's going to be able to go out there. We've been talking to him. There's just some things going on with his schedule that has preventing him and potentially preventing him from being able to go. So I'm not sure if he's going to be attending or not. Either way, the rest of the team is going to go. Bottom line is, we're independent people. We collectively, when we go on these cases, we have an amazing team that we put together. And every time we try to include another person into that team, it just goes to hell. So we don't do it, right? But this idea that, we're not independent, we are definitely independent. And when I say we here on the Bullhorn Betty show, I'm not referring to Olivia and JLR. I'm referring to my team, my other portion of the team that sends me stuff. That investigates for me. Just because I'm here and I'm running this channel doesn't mean I'm here alone and do absolutely nothing. So I just want to clarify some things. Not that I have to feed into it or anything like that. But I like the record being set straight on a lot of things, especially with misinformation out there and people intentionally peddling misinformation. It does get irritating, but the people that are here every single day know what the heck's going on. I mean, it's not like this huge thing where, good morning, Jackie, nice to see you, where we need to, be addressing this over and over and over again. But, we do have idiots, and there's nothing I can do about the idiots out there. All I can do is make fun of them. I try to be, oh gosh, I'm going to shut my mouth before somebody gets a soundbite, right? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So let me just pull some things up here. Make sure that we are on the right page. So I've been posting out for those that are just joining or that are going to be watching. Good morning, Sue. That are going to be watching the replay of this live. I am putting out videos. I'm starting at the latest time. I'm starting to put out some content about behind the scenes footage. This is uncut stuff. I'm not cutting anything out. I'm not making it pretty. I'm not doing anything. This is all the work that we've done that's going to be coming out related to Summer Wells. I'm putting out, 3 or 4 short videos every single day of the behind the scenes footage. I will end up, going through my favorite ones and probably putting together a pretty video at the end. But those that like to see what all happened, where we went, what we did, that is going to start getting posted. So don't forget to go over and look at the videos section of this channel to get those out, or to review those, to watch those. Those short videos, if they're under 8 minutes, only has the advertisement at the beginning of it, which still helps this channel grow. It helps bring in some compensation to this channel. But you don't have to worry about, video ads being in the middle of the videos. Some people, they don't like that, but they have to realize, even on these lives, when you go back and replay them, they're riddled with ads. They're riddled with ads, but we have to, shits and giggles. It's nice to see you in here. Not sure what streakers mean, but it's been a while. Nice to see you. Happy that you stopped by. Happy that you stopped by. I don't really know either, and we're going to go and figure this out. I got some content here, and it's dovetailing right into this question, Pebbles. It really is. It's nice to see you. Mwah. So, but again, I don't know what is going on in law enforcement's mind. Although I did record the inadvertently, because I always have that recorder in my bra, the just the audio recorder. I turn that on and it literally records for 8 hours. I forget it's even there until I'm, getting in the shower and it falls on the floor, right? So it's not one of those things where it's, everybody knows I put it on and it's just to catch any additional stuff that I forget to catch on my phone. At least I have audio of it. It's just a fail safe for me. And I just learned little tricks of the trade doing this kind of work. So because sometimes I'll make a phone call, right? And I'll forget to record it. I'll forget to record the content of that phone call. And it may be important. I may hear something that I wasn't expecting to hear, and I missed recording it. You're not getting that again. So I've just learned over the years, you always have these little things on you so you don't miss any information that could be pertinent or that could help in any way. And that's what I do. So anyways, long story short, I can't find the recording anyways to save my life. So for those that want to tattle on me, can go tattle on me because I don't have the recording. I can't find it. But I accidentally inadvertently recorded the assistant state attorney in the office. And so I'm trying to find it, just to replay it and see if I missed anything. But honestly, I just can't seem to, for the life of me, find it. I just can't. So, but long story short, we're going through everything else. I am going to be pushing a lot of the content out. And again, in its raw form, I'm not really editing unless it has like a phone number, like Jonathan left his phone number on the pastor's phone. And we did catch that. So I edited that out. These damn nails, I'm gonna have to redo them. I hate being girly. I really do, but I'm becoming more girly by the day. Sorry. Oh my goodness. So, yeah. But long story short, we're just going to be getting content out. The content that we've never gotten out. Many of you guys know when we go out to these things, we're not the YouTubers. We like to interview and be investigative journalists and, put this in a different light. And we don't need to be the first to bring it to the YouTube channel, right? We don't. And we don't. We very rarely rush out and put stuff out. Now, Summer Wells on Olivia, we had her do that while we were out on the road. God, these nails. When we were out on the road, she did work on getting some stuff out there in, while we were out. She did upload like every night. She did try to create videos and get those out to the audience so they could see what we were doing and everything like that. That she did do. She did that very well, I thought. In my opinion, I love Olivia. I love everything that she does. And it's so funny because okay. You want to fill me in on that just real quick? I mean, I've got some time because I'm just filling air while people, sorry, getting my stuff. While I'm just filling air at the moment, just until more people get in and logged in to the channel this morning. So I'm happy to look into it. Anything for you? Anything for you, shits and giggles? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Crayon Man, nice to see you. Good morning. Good morning. And we're going to still go over, many of you, if you guys did watch the, if you guys were here live, great. But if you guys went back and replayed the video yesterday, we went on for 3 hours. We discussed, you know, Candace's and Grandis's statement. We are going to be discussing even more today. I've got some other things that I want to, director looks like Darren. Okay. Good morning, Kathy. Nice to see you. But we are going to, I lost my train of thought. We are going to go over, that's what I was going to say. We are going to go over the more information related to summer. I've got stuff downloaded, but we are going to go over first some other cases. These are cases that we haven't touched, we haven't worked on. I just thought it was great news that you guys may want to know. I know I have people in here from Texas, and some of this stuff is from Texas, and it's pretty scary stuff going on in Texas. You know, a gentleman was just received life in prison for what he did to a young girl. So very good. You know, I'm very happy to hear that, you know, Texas doesn't play. I love Texas. I think Texas is a great state, and just happy. Kiddos on the same inner tubes and like, okay. Yeah, I'll take a look. I'll take a look at it. Shits and giggles. Throw up. Okay, kiddos from the camp. Oh, okay. So the kids from the camp has the same signs that H throws up. Yeah, and H and actually pulled that. So he's, you know, obviously throws up some gang signs. I do not condone that, you know, but I know all young children, you know, as they're finding their way in life, you know, some kind of gravitate. Let's hope, you know, everything going on pulls him back out of where he, you know, the path he was taking. I've got to say, me growing up with the childhood trauma that I experienced, I went down some of those same paths and hanging out with some of pretty rough dudes. And hopefully, you know, with all this going on, and we know that he's, you know, been somewhere for a few months, let's hope that he's correcting his path. And that's all we can hope for. And, you know, if he's not correcting his path now, I mean, the best thing that we can hope for is that the seed is planted, because that's what I have to say is when I was going through everything I was going through, I had some amazing teachers at Gulf Coast Marine Institute, which no longer exists to the best of my knowledge, but it was a great program whenever I was a teenager going through a lot of the problems I was going through. And they planted the seed then. Did it work at that point? No. But the seeds that they planted when I was 15 and 16 years old actually helped me many years later when I was in my 30s and trying to correct my life, trying to figure my way. You know, did I fall and get bruised? Of course, but I learned to pick myself up and keep moving and keep trying new things and keep working on myself. And that's, you know, it was the seeds that were planted back in those days that actually helped break the cycle that I experienced in my life, and very thankful for that. As many of you know, I'm a happy, productive member of society, and you know, I don't need to anesthetize my life. I go through life and I feel everything that I need to feel now, and I'm gracious for it. At one time, you know, the opportunity of me being able to do that were very grim. It was a grave truly grave situation at a few parts of my life, and very thankful to be here. So, sorry, I've been on there since June 7th. Yep. Yeah, I know. We know who's been paying attention, who's been, working on this case, who's been doing all the stuff, as much as possible for that. Yep. So, I will look at it. I promise you, I will look at it. So, perfect. So let me just go in. We'll give a few more minutes. We've got 94 people in here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this page, folks. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, I have to say that, one of the things that I was discussing on here yesterday, even with all the people that crew had interjected into the Summer Wells case that needed to be investigated, that actually stopped the investigation from the investigators to go on these wild goose chases, I thought, was sorely disrespectful to Summer Wells. I try to read through what law enforcement is saying. And, they've been trying very diligently to find out what happened to Summer. Do I believe that they are in the same position that they were back on June 15th? Of course not. I don't care what that law enforcement officer says. I do not believe that with one piece of my being. I believe they are further along than they would ever allege to the public about the case. There's a lot of things going on here. You got to think that they have the family now has stopped cooperating. Lawyers are now involved. They have to show that there's certain things that they have to show in a court of law. And one of those things is that they've left no stone unturned. They've looked at every single avenue. They looked at every single potential suspect. They have gone, they have just done everything. I know that that's what he said, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I think that was lip service for the news organization. And I also think it was lip service for the Wells. So, and the attorneys for that matter. I do not think for any being of me that they are exactly where they were on June 15th. You couldn't pay me $1 million to convince me otherwise. I believe they are much further than any of us think they are. I don't think she was taken away at all. I really don't. I don't think she was taken away. DCF having a DCS, it's actually DCS, Department of Children's Services, but I know what you're asking. Shits and giggles. Do I think that they were, to avoid, I think that there is a coincidence, and I don't really believe in coincidences. I have to be honest with you. Good morning, ZZ. Good morning, Stephanie. Ruby, good morning. With trying to carefully say this. So I think there may be a coincidence with the timing of everything happening. Here's what bothers me with this case, and we're going to cover this here in just a little bit, is that at some point on June 15th, Don was at work with his sons. That's what was said. I don't understand why Hunter would lie about that. If he was told by Candace that the boys went to work with their father, why would he think anything different than the boys went to work with their father? Another issue that I have with this is if the boys went to work with their father, at some point he called back and was talking about some guy messing with children, right? So if the boys were at work, in order for the boys to be messed with by some adult, they would have had to come home. Therefore, Don would have had to come home. Then, if the boys went to work, how are all three boys home at the time Summer came back with her mother? Unless Don came back. So these are just some these are just some issues that are rolling around in my head, because when I first started this whole journey, I was under the impression Don was at work until Summer was missing. And yesterday we heard Candace slip up in that Chris McDonough interview where she said in the beginning of at the waterhole that she called law enforcement and then called Donnie. And then closer to the end of that conversation, she reiterated and said she called Don and then called law enforcement. So it just makes me wonder. And then in Hunter's interview, he says that, she drops him off at home about 2:30. Later on, he says he's leaving his house. He's going over to Bristol to the park to hang out with his girl and her mother. And so it almost sounded like Candace called him before she called Don and before she called law enforcement. And then later, it seems like he corrects himself and says she called me around 7:30. So, I mean, there's just a lot of inconsistencies in everybody's statement. And it's like, for me, the truth is the truth no matter what. You can say the truth over and over again and not have issues with keeping up with it. Good morning, Amber. Good morning, Alice. Miss Robin. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Let me see what we got. And we're going to go over a couple things with CPS. The alphabet soup around the country. Many of you guys know I have been a strong advocate for change in across the country. I think DCS has to be removed as the investigative body. I think that any complaints that come in should be fielded by law enforcement. If there's any merit to them, law enforcement handles it and refers it over to the department. Because I don't think a social worker, whether they have a master's degree in social work or not, should ever have the authority of investigating a criminal case. That's like hiring Benny Keys to do a police investigation. I'm sorry. I just don't think that should be done. I just don't. I don't think that they should have any ability to do a criminal investigation. It's not in their wheelhouse. That is law enforcement's wheelhouse. So, and we've got some clips, and this is some of the stuff that I'm bringing in before we start talking about Summer Wells and continue our conversation from yesterday. Somebody was on here, Carmen was on here for the first time yesterday, and had asked me what I thought happened to Summer. And I was meaning to dovetail back, but then after the whole water hole thing and us going on 3 hours, as many of you know, I'm an imperfect person, so it slipped my mind. So for those that are joining in and want to know what Bullhorn Betty's position is on the Summer Wells case, I'm going to answer it pretty lengthy, and then we'll go from there. So when we first started this case, and when I first started reviewing everything that was associated with this, I thought Candace did something really horrific to her daughter while Don was at home, or was at work rather, and that I thought she ended up calling him to help her clean up her mess, and he begrudgingly did it, but did it because he loved her. I never thought at the beginning that Don Wells was involved or home at the time. This is before we ever put one foot on the ground in Rogersville, Tennessee. Good morning, American Girl. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm interested. We'll go. I'll review that. And American Girl, I'm talking to you. I will review that and see what I think. So, that's what I thought. I knew that whatever happened to that young baby, Candace was the key to everything. She really was. Because again, like I said, I thought and was under the impression Don was at work until he came home while law enforcement was in his yard, or while the boys were looking, rather, after law enforcement was called. Let me see what you're saying on shits and giggles, the theory. All three sons were taken by CPS a month after Summer Wells disappeared. Uh, Josie was not there. They took all three of the children. Josie was not there by himself, and two of them being removed. That's I don't know where that is. That's incorrect. And if you do see the good morning, no name Sally. If you do see the information from law enforcement and some of the videos out, that I don't think that scaffolding was high enough that it could injure. I mean, it may injure her, but to cause intentional. If you're kind of your theory is that the boys roughhoused and hurt her, I just don't have that same theory as you, Giggles. I just don't. And teach their own. To each their own. You know, everybody has a right to. When was it taken? I have it. Well, I'm curious to look at it. I mean, you know, I don't know what you're talking about, so it's hard for me to get that to think about it in my brain in that context. Don't think something happened at the horse pump. I do too. I still keep going back to that, and we're going to discuss that here. Why would an entire community come out together as one? The entire community didn't come out together as one. There was quite a few people. It was primarily the church that came out as one. But you can send whatever you have over to the bullhornbetty@gmail.com. And I'm happy to look at it and just give you a rundown. Maybe we'll make a live out of it sometime next week. And, you know, I can have you on my panel and we can have a discussion about it. You know, obviously we have different thoughts on it. So it'd be quite interesting, to be honest with you. If that's something that you would like to do, I'm happy to do that. But moving on, getting back to what I think happened. You know, I think that, you know, at the beginning that Candace had done something serious and nefarious to Summer, either got mad at her, hit her, shoved her, she went tumble down the mountain. I don't know, you know, not watching her, but the not watching her and, you know, an accident didn't formulate until after I had my boots on the ground in Rogersville, Tennessee. So, and we're going to watch Chris McDonough's one of his first videos of the property when he goes into the house, and we're going to discuss it. We're going to discuss it in length. We're going to stop and have a conversation definitely about that, if nothing else. So getting on, and you can just see how steep that, you know, slope is. And it's very easy for a child to fall off and hurt themselves. So we don't know what happened. I have to be honest with you. I still constantly keep going back to that water hole. You know, that's where Candace experiences her PTSD, almost like symptoms where things are slow-mo. You know, she can't really think. She is having problems formulating words. You know, it's just not, she just is weird. And, you know, her and Hunter both say that he never went back to the Wells property, that she ended up taking him back home. You know, based upon his grandmother, great-grandmother, and his own mother, he has never been the same since returning home from that day. We've heard from Andrew as well as Allie since then that he's starting to make a turn for the better and starting to appear to be this normal again, or how he was prior to that day of June 15th, 2021. But again, you know, what happened that day that altered that young man's life, you know, that teenager's life in such a negative way? Was it the water hole? Was it a dry drowning? Did he see something happen and help cover it up for Candace because he was being manipulated and groomed by her? We don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, we truly don't know. What we can do is take all the pieces that we have acquired, put them together, and see what picture comes out of those pieces. And that's our speculation and our opinion of the facts that happen. So does everybody agree with what I garner out of putting those pieces together? No. But they're my opinions of what I think happened. What has changed since I originally went out there? Since I originally went out there, I'm now more inclined to say that it was an accident as opposed to something intentionally being done to her. I believe, it wasn't just Candace that was culpable of it. I now believe Don was home and was also culpable of it. I believe whatever happened, they covered up. I believe they were thinking that they were going to get in trouble, and they did everything they could to try to dig their way out of trouble. She was already gone. They didn't see any point in them having to face the consequences of their actions. So, they did whatever they thought was, they may have very well, it sounds horrible, but had a funeral for her. A very, mom and dad say a prayer as they're digging. We don't know. We don't know. Things just don't make sense. They just don't make sense, including them going to the grocery store and Candace, making it a point to say that she was only in the store for 5 minutes. She grabbed some milk and some cheese. Yet it took all the boys coming out of the house to help her unload the groceries. It doesn't make sense. When you have that little bit of groceries, you got Grandis and Candace there. One person grab one milk, one person grab another milk, the other person grab a few bags, the other person grab a few bags. Why would you get out of your truck, go in the house, get the boys to come out and grab a few bags? It doesn't make sense to me. These things don't make sense to me. They just don't. They just don't. Good morning, Tennessee. Nice to see you. Rogue Vixen, nice to see you. Yeah. And again, I think he was giving lip service to the attorneys as well as Don and Candace. I truly believe they have a lot more information than they say they have. They're talking about. And another thing that didn't make sense to me when we were discussing yesterday, Candace says she's on the phone with her husband, and he tells her to call the police. So she throws her phone in the back of the truck to go get her mom's phone to call the police because her phone's the only phone that works out there on the mountain. It's like, you were just on the phone with your husband. Clearly your phone works on the mountain. Why would you throw your phone down and go get your mother's phone instead of just hanging up with Don and calling 911? These things don't make sense. Their story makes no sense. When you actually methodically go through their story and listen to it, it doesn't make sense. It's pieced together here, pieced together there. I mean, you're on the phone with somebody. Your phone is working to make that call. What would make you think that your phone will not work when you hang up to call 911? Clearly, you're on the phone listening to Don and can hear him just fine. So, true story, people. You can't make this stuff up. Can't make this stuff up. So let's go on ahead and get moving through our day. Good morning, One Eye Open. Nice to see you here this morning. Good morning. Good morning. And Tim Mullins may be involved. We don't know. I truly don't know. I truly don't know. So we'll see. We'll see. But this, I'm going to go through some. This is not the meat and potatoes of our day. This is just some. I need to move this over here so they pop up on the right screen so we don't have an issue like we did yesterday. So.
Parents, you will want to listen up. Police have issued a warning after 3 children were nearly abducted by a man with a gun.
Now, this is pretty scary. And investigators also released this photo right here of the suspect's car. They are asking parents to keep an eye out tonight. Our Roseanne Aragon is live in Pasadena with the frightening details. Roseanne?
Right, that suspect is still out there. We are joining you here outside the Pasadena Police Department. Police right now are investigating the attempted kidnapping, saying the suspect would try to lure girls into his car. Multiple cases and this same reported car, a suspect on the run and parents on edge.
It's kind of scary. You know, you want to do your best to try to protect your kids.
Pasadena police say Monday in the area of Red Bluff Road and Preston Avenue, a man in his 20s stopped multiple girls, asking them for directions. Police say the man would then tell the children he couldn't hear and requested that they come closer. In one of these multiple cases, Pasadena police say the man displayed a gun and threatened the girl to do what he wants. Local residents are outraged.
I wouldn't act for nobody to be doing that to my kids, because if I would find out, I probably would do something about it.
Police said earlier in the day in Deer Park, there was a similar complaint about a man in the same car, a dark gray 4-door sedan, possibly a Honda Civic, with black rims and a sunroof. The suspect is said to have medium-length brown hair with a stubble goatee. Now, Pasadena police are asking parents to be vigilant and to teach their children about stranger danger. For Catherine Johnson, who lives just down the street.
I have daughters, you know, and it could have been my kids.
Now, Pasadena police are asking parents to make sure their children are aware of their surroundings and report suspicious activity. Pasadena police are also asking anyone who knows anything about this to give them a call. For now, reporting live from Pasadena, Roseanne Aragon, KPRC 2 News.
Roseanne.
So that is in Texas, Pasadena, Houston area, Texas, to the best of my knowledge. Yep. So sorry, I'm still trying to read some of these comments. So guys, please don't forget to go out and like, share, and subscribe to this internet equals FaceTime equals internet service. I'm missing some of your conversations. I do apologize for coming in there, but I've got to run this. So at any rate, we got more coming up here. There's also a, this is a sad story, folks. So I'm going to go ahead and prepare you now for this next story. This may be something that
years later, people who know baby Amaya's family say they are still waiting for justice. Today, about 24 people marched through the neighborhood as they continue to try to bring attention to Amaya's case. The girl was last seen with her mother's boyfriend at a home on South Holmes Avenue. Police searched several locations with cadaver dogs back in 2019, but they found no sign of the little girl.
And I want to let you guys know, this is a case from 2019. This baby still has not yet been found, and nobody has been charged with the disappearance. Imagine the grief and the grieving this family has been going through without having answers.
Today, Amaya's grandfather told us someone knows what happened, and they need to come forward.
Somebody needs to pay for this, no matter what. Somebody needs to pay for what has happened. This is part of it. This is keeping her name alive to make sure everybody out there knows something happened to Amaya, and we need to find out why and what happened.
Well, IMPD tells us baby Amaya's case remains open. They are asking anyone with information to please contact Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS.
So another beautiful baby that disappeared. Last known, the person that was in the care of that child was in the care of was the mother's boyfriend at the time. She did disappear, and we just want to bring awareness to the case here on the Bullhorn Betty channel, because it's a beautiful, beautiful baby. That mother has got to be grieving. It's got to be horrific. It's got to be absolutely horrific. Yes, that is true. And there was, I want to say 4 different, in one sting, 4 different Disney employees that were caught up in a sting. That's scary stuff. And then you've got Disney. We're not even going to get into all the stuff that's going on with Disney right now. I can tell you, I will be in front of Disney on, I believe, April 16th. My voice will be heard in front of that building. So just to let you know, I may bring that, even though it's more geared toward the political side of stuff that I keep off of this YouTube channel. I will be out there protesting on April 16th in Orlando. If those people, if you guys are in the area, you know, and want to join in, we are going to be protesting in front of Disney. It's going to be a large group of people, Yes. Yes. Grady Judd, I'm telling you, he does not play. People, excuse me, I got to sneeze. Don't know where that came from, but my allergies have been going crazy, and they're going to be going crazy for another month at least. So, Grady Judd is an amazing sheriff. Polk County is lucky to have him. They have some of the best. First of all, let me just talk about Grady Judd here, just for just a second. When they have any kind of murder case or anything like that that goes on inside Polk County, he has this elite team of people. This elite team of people that I just got. Hold on a second. That go in and do the investigation. Like, they have some of the lowest murder, unsolved murder rates in the state of Florida, maybe in the country. I don't know, because of his strategy when it comes to murder cases. And then we have, this whole online sleuthing that they do to find the predators online that are targeting young children. And he is the leader in this country for that kind of strategy and investigation. And I have to tell you, we are very fortunate in the state of Florida. And some of these predators come from out of state. Some of these predators literally cross state lines to be with these young girls. One was a judge recently, and it was part of that Disney sting. One of these were part of a judge. It was a judge from out of state that wanted a girlfriend experience with a 13-year-old child. It was disgusting. It was absolutely horrific and disgusting. Good morning, Baby Yoda. Good morning, Tennessee. Nice to see you guys here this morning. Good morning, Jacqueline. Nice to see you. Shell, nice to see you. So Shell saying the three main things out of the ordinary that day, the car, H, and the hospital that says plan. That's why things check out. So the question is, where on that land they can hide her? I always said from the beginning, she will be closer than many people think. And it's just from my experience covering these cases, being inside these cases, having boots on the ground, outside of Cassie Carley, the one that I just went to on Sunday and I was there present to help search. And that was the day they found out that they did find Cassie in Alabama. That was the outlier. That one was the outlier. That's the one where that gentleman took her across state lines. And I guarantee if he did not have that 30-foot trailer, she would have been even closer to her car than Alabama. So just people, they want their comfort zone. Not only that, but knowing Don and Candace, they would want to know if anybody was on the trail. They would want to know if somebody was on their yard. They would want to know. I am of the belief that she is very close to that home. And I said that when we were out there, our first trip in December, I said, she's going to be an eye view of windows from that home. And we're going to get into some things here shortly. I've got a couple more videos that are going to be popping up here. And we're going to get through those and discuss those. So the next one is this. And this one is the most appalling to me of all. Well, they're all appalling to me. But this one just really burns my grits.
Here is Pasco County Sheriff Chris Nacco walking into the room momentarily. And there's Sheriff Nacco. Let's listen in.
Good. Everybody good? Good roll. Good morning. So I want to start off saying how proud I am of this organization. The fact that, you know, we have built a culture that if there's something wrong, somebody will come forward with that information.
Good morning, Sasha.
Stop it, you know, as soon as going on or stopping the progress of it happening. And, you know, in today's world, that's good to have people who are morally and ethically strong. You know, they're not going to blow away in the wind and go with whatever way things are going. They're going to stand firm and have a backbone and say, this is wrong, I'm going to stop it. And that's exactly what happened. So Jennifer Lewis was a member of the Pasco Sheriff's Office from January 2016 to March of 2021. She was a child protective investigator, and her role is to protect children, like all of them. And that's probably one of the toughest roles in our organization, is what those women and men do in there day in and day out, protecting those kids. And, you know, major part of our job is to go out there and interview to make sure, you know, you are that decision, to make sure you go to a judge and say, you know, the kid's safe, or to say the kid's not safe and we have to do something about it. That is absolutely critical. You know, Jennifer Lewis failed in those responsibilities. You know, on several occasions, she was out there and she had a trainee with her. And while she was out with the trainee, you know, she was doing what was her role and responsibility. But what she was putting in a report was not accurate to what actually happened. And on 2 occasions, she said she actually met with people when she didn't. And so the trainee, about a month later, you know, in March, started looking at those reports that Jennifer had written. And that while she was reviewing them, she said, you know, we were at this house, but we didn't talk to anybody. And on another occasion, they were at the house, but the CPI investigator, Jennifer Lewis, just put her card there. She didn't speak to anybody. But what she put in those reports reflected that she actually spoke to people, which is a lie. The trainee came forward and said to her supervisors, there's a problem here. You know, this does not match up to what happened. And so that led to an investigation of major crimes. It followed the proper chain of command. That's how things are supposed to work. When something happens, supervisors get information, they forward a potential a crime occurred, they forward to major crimes. The leadership in our CPI, Child Protective Investigation Unit, did the exact thing they were supposed to do. They forward to major crimes. Major crimes started confronting Jennifer Lewis, started just questioning her about these things. She resigned very quickly. She turned in her paperwork, she resigned. But that
I'm sorry. So that was the end of that. I cut it off there. She resigned very quickly. This is, and the reason why I didn't go through a whole lot with this particular thing, because this goes to a very, I think, a major issue with, let me get this back up. A major issue with what is going on. You know, we're hearing all these children being failed by the alphabet soup. And then here we have law enforcement that is involved and supposed to be investigating these cases like I think they should be investigated by law enforcement, by one of their law enforcement aspects that investigate child issues and things of that nature. And here we have a lady that is lying on reports, showing the fail-safe that we have to the DCF and alphabet soups of these child protective services across the country. Here we have the law enforcement aspect falling short and intentionally Lying. Now, thank God we had this trainee that brought it to her supervisor's attention about her training officer after reviewing these reports. Now, think if she never even reviewed these reports, this would have gone unnoticed. Let me see if I think there was more to it.
She actually met with people when she didn't. And so the trainee, about a month later, in March, started looking at those reports that Jennifer had written. And while she was reviewing them, she said, we were at this house, but we didn't talk to anybody. And on another occasion, they were at the house, but the CPI investigator, Jennifer Lewis, just put her card there. She didn't speak to anybody. But what she put in those reports reflected that she actually spoke to people, which is a lie. The trainee came forward and said to her supervisors, there's a problem here. This does not match up to what happened. And so that led to an investigation of major crimes. It followed the proper chain of command. That's how things are supposed to work. When something happens, supervisors get information, they forward a potential a crime occurred, they forward to major crimes. The leadership in our CPI, Child Protective Investigation Unit, did the exact thing they were supposed to do. They forward to major crimes. Major crimes started confronting Jennifer Lewis, started just questioning her about these things. She resigned very quickly. She turned in her paperwork, she resigned. But that.
So again, it's just sad that this branch failed the children. And this was a sworn officer of the law. They're not supposed to lie on reports. They're not supposed to lie. They're supposed to be above that. And it's a woman, probably a mom. So just sad. So sorry, I wanted to replay some of that stuff for you guys. And then we have one more tidbit of information before we dive into Candace and Don and H's statements. And then we'll move from there. So just bear with me. We are getting through this, and we got one more that I wanted to bring to everybody's attention. And this is another concerning. Oh, sorry, wrong one.
You will want to listen up. Police have issued a warning.
Sorry about that. Let me pull it up. There it is.
More money is on the line for information that leads to Kara Hyde. The 23-year-old disappeared from her home in December. As the search continues, Hamilton police have upped the reward from $500 to $2,500. Our Kendria LaFleur joins us live now outside police headquarters. Kendria, what have you learned about this investigation tonight?
Yeah, with this increase, the reward is now $3,500. The Hyde family has offered their own reward as well for $1,000 for any information on her whereabouts. They're searching for answers. Now, Kara left her mother's home on Grand Boulevard in Hamilton on December 5th.
I'm pausing this here just so you guys can see pictures of this missing girl in Hamilton, Ohio. For all my Ohio people that watch the show, this child is still missing. Well, I shouldn't call her a child. She's a young adult, but a child, she's obviously 20 years younger than I am. So she's still a child in my eyes. But this 23-year-old young adult is missing, Kara Hyde. So anybody with any information, please contact Hamilton, Ohio Police Department or the Sheriff's Department or to provide them any information saying the police department.
Not been seen or heard from since then. A bag of her clothes was located at Crawford Woods, which has been searched at least twice since then, but so far no other signs.
I will tell you, the idea that there was a bag of clothes that were found is not a good sign. It is not a good sign. It means that evidence is being dumped. And so this is very sad to hear. I don't know, this not good. I don't anticipate a good outcome, but this has been going on. This is all new stuff that's being reported here recently.
Partners at the Journal News report that police interviewed witnesses and people associated with Hyde, and tonight her mother is desperately pleading for those with answers to come forward.
I don't understand why we can't find her, and if somebody is involved with whatever happened to her, I don't understand that either, because Kara's the nicest, sweetest, most loving person there is to do anything for you. And I don't understand why anyone would want to hurt her.
Her mother has hosted multiple vigils and other events in honor of her daughter in hopes of spreading word about her disappearance. Now, again, the reward is $3,500. If you have any information, call police. Reporting live, Kendria LaFleur, WCPO 9 News.
So that is all of our updating news of other things around the country. In addition to Summer Wells, I'd like to bring other cases up. This was a suggestion by some of the folks early on, and that's what we're doing. So I did stop the chat just a little bit, so I'm behind on the comments, but I did want to kind of dovetail. One I opened was saying that, predators pick certain jobs, and it is weird that, we had so many Disney employees that popped up on the radar for that sting that Grady Judd did all at once too. And it makes you wonder, did they plan to go together? I mean, did they talk about it? Were they, some of these people were not from this country. They were over here on whatever visa. So it's a little odd about that. So if you guys are, love this channel and would love to help support this channel, please consider becoming a member of this channel. Thank you so much. God bless each and every one of you. Exactly. For that one in Pasco County, which is in my own backyard, that's where we went to look for Ruth Cecala. We still never found her. She still has not been reported. She's been reported missing this whole time, and no sign or word from her. It's also the same area that we were at for Kathleen Moore and Collin Knapp. So in my backyard, grounds that I've worked in and cases that I've looked into as well. Pasco County, Chris Nacco is a great sheriff out there, and that's why they keep voting him in. He has a great team. They have an amazing system as well. Not to the grade of Grady Judd, but he is up there. He's another great sheriff that does great things. And I also want to give a shout out to my own sheriff here, Rick Wells, which I love and adore. Yeah. It's just weird. It's just sad. And it's scary. It's scary. You have got to watch your children, period. This day and age. I mean, don't think that it just happened. It's just now happening. This has been going on for a long time, but it was never known around like it is now. We have social media that just gets this stuff out there, and it's just peppered across the country very, very quickly. When something is breaking, we with social media can get that stuff out like that. As opposed to the way it was back in the 70s and 80s. This stuff has been going on for a really long time. Many people just didn't know about it. They just didn't know about it. Oh, thank you, Pink Phoenix. I love your support. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Good morning, Laura. I don't think I had an opportunity to tell you good morning this morning, so good morning. We discussed that yesterday. It's hard for me to believe because, I don't know how to say this without having issues on the backside of this, but just in, passing to say, I'm going to try to explain this. So, think of a body and how much liquid is in a body, okay? So you're talking about, let's talk about a wet piece of wood. How hard is it to burn a wet piece of wood, okay? So you would need, help doing that. Is it impossible? No, but that's why, burning, lack of a better term, I got to be careful with what I say. It's very difficult. Many people do not succeed with that form of disposal. They don't, without help. I don't know. And that's where Dotson came in. Everybody thought it was Dotson. I don't know. He's got children. And one of those children is a daughter, which many of you know we spoke to. And she loves her father. I don't see anybody putting their neck out that far for that garbage up on that mountain. I'm telling you, people in and around Rogersville do not like them. Without the support of that church, they would have nobody. Even the people like Allie. Allie was disassociated from them for almost many months before she disappeared. Many months before she disappeared. So the people that get to know the Wells don't typically stick around very long, because they don't like them. They are what we saw on YouTube with Don, where he's nice, soft-spoken guy, and then he gets a little bit of liquor in him, and it's an F this and a B that and a C this and an N that. People don't like that. And think about that. If he does that to people he doesn't know, think about what he does to people he does. So I just don't believe anybody is willing to put their life on the line for those garbage people. I really don't, especially coming to a 5-year-old girl. I mean, think about it. Just because you know somebody and you have the ability to do something like that, do you think you would do that? Of course not. You would tell them to go fly a kite and pick up the phone and call 911. So it's hard. Good morning, Frankie. It's hard for me to believe that they could find a place with enough heat to do that. That's just my opinion. I mean, we will find out, the truth will come to light. The truth will set everyone free. I do believe it's in the horizon. I believe we see the cracks in the dam forming. I believe the floodgates will soon open, and we are going to know everything about this, and it's going to turn our stomachs. I truly believe that. I believe that with my entire heart. I believe we're a lot closer than many people think. That's just my opinion. Now, I know, we had law enforcement recently come out and say otherwise. But again, I truly believe that's lip service. I truly believe that's lip service. Good morning. Hi, Pretty and Hi. Nice to see you in here this morning. For all the other people that are in that I missed, Harley's World, nice to see you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Joan. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming and joining with us today. Crows, good morning. Nice to see you. And this is the other one I wanted to bring up. And this is why I think it is so incredibly, let's not drop information about people without facts, as that's how rumors and drama starts. Let's leave Ernie out of the chat. Thanks. So Emma, thank you. Yes, I agree. I didn't see that comment, but we've got to be very careful, because this is that whole thing with the sheriff, the lead detective coming out and saying, that the speculation, every time they have speculation, they have to stop what they're doing and go. If there's no grounds for that speculation and it's just because you thought about it, it doesn't hold water, and it's not fair to anybody to pass around stuff just because you think it's true. It must be true. It's not fair. And put yourself in the situation where somebody may not like you and start spreading around a horrific rumor just because they think it. It doesn't make it true. So we want to be very careful. And everybody's entitled to their own opinions, and I get that. I'm not coming down on anybody. I just want you to, I think if people put themselves in positions of how they would feel if this was being done to them, would change a lot of the way they do things. And I think that that's missing. When I was growing up, we were taught that. We were taught that in Sunday school. We were taught that in school. They've gotten away from that. And, I don't know why, because it was a good life lesson. But we really need to be very careful, because some of the things that we say pick up and get ran across social media, and it's not the truth, and nobody has the receipts, so to speak, to back the statement up, and it's just unfair. So not to come down on anybody, I just wanted to put it in a different perspective. You know, put the shoes on your feet and see how it would feel. And if you truly believe that, do the due diligence to get the information so you can bring it out. You know, if it's true, there is something there that's going to make it true. And you can say, look at this, look at this, look at this. And, you know, the consensus will be that. So let's try to work on, if we're going to make a statement, let's try to work on getting the information to prove that statement before it's made. Just my opinion. Again, everybody's entitled to have their own opinions about what has happened or who's involved and things of that nature. But even us, you know, we had did some due diligence before we left, before we even came up with a possibility of what we thought may have happened to Summer Wells. And then we went out there and fact find, and we got boots on the ground, and we went everywhere, and we did our work before we ever even came out to public in the public eye to tell them what we thought happened. We did the work before we did that. It was a lot of hard work. It was many, 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 many tens of hundreds of hours of research and time across, you know, 3 or 4 people at the time, right? So getting back to Tennessee, so much time has passed in the Summer Wells case, and Don Wells, Candace Wells, and Grandis have had freedom and time to tamper with evidence, including moving or destroying a body. They should have been locked up. I agree with that statement. And I think that that is the most important across anything, because they had, and we're about to watch a video here, they have had enough credible information to have them charged with child abuse, child endangerment, child cruelty. There's a litany of charges that are unrelated to her disappearance that could have had them both in jail sitting there while they investigated this case for that purpose right there. That's why Florida doesn't play, Georgia doesn't play, Virginia doesn't play. You are locked, your butt is locked back up, which brings me to the other case of Cody Bigsby. Remember, his father, Corey, is sitting in jail. He had the 4 kids. He would leave them, and all of them under the age of 5, leave them at home. 2 twins that were 2 years old, one that was 4 years old, and one that was 5 years old, and left them at home for hours on end by themselves. We have a new statement that came out that said that they do not believe that child is alive any further, and further charges are pending against the father. So I'm monitoring that case, and I will probably bring that to you. I don't know if I'm going to be able to bring it to you tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be driving. If all goes well, I will be driving to North Carolina, and we'll try to go live. Once I get my tent set up and my mattress blown up, I should have enough cord and battery to hook up the computers and go live. Wouldn't that be cool? Camping and going live. I love it. From a computer, not the phone. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. So let's see what else we have. Katie Bug, nice to see you. Good morning. Southern Mountain Girl, good morning. Yes, I'm pretty sure that has been resolved. I'm not sure, but I saw that when we were investigating. You know, many of you guys know that we did not just investigate the Wells, right? We investigated everybody, including the sheriff's department. Believe it or not, we did our due diligence. Many don't know. And that case, the young man that got beat up and you know, busted lip, black eyed, we did actually look into that case and looked in, because part of that case is we're talking about the lack of training of the officers. And we picked up on that here. And we were discussing that early on in the investigation. I want to say I had that conversation about December, maybe late December, about the lawsuit against the Hawkins County sheriff, which I believe started, if I'm not mistaken, like earlier that year, like February-ish. I can't remember I'm just running off the top of my head, but I remember seeing the man. I remember seeing the photos of the man's face. And we started looking into the sheriff's department and Ronnie Lawson after we came to realize, actually it was before we came to realize that there was another missing child in the area that was on Ronnie Lawson's family property and found in a barn with his not Lawson's niece, but the girl that was abducted was with her uncle, which was assaulting her and violently, and she was alive. She did survive, and her uncle was sent to prison. But they actually found him on Lawson's family's property. So that's when we said, let's just take a look, see, and see what else we can find. So we did a lot of research on Hawkins County Sheriff and things of that nature. Again, a lot of people don't realize the work our team put into really trying to get to the bottom of this case and finding out what happened. And we did go through a lot of twists and turns to come up with the with our opinion of what may have happened. Now, although we were fixated on the water hole, doesn't mean that that necessarily was what happened. It doesn't change the fact of the last person that saw her. It doesn't change the fact of who has the information. It just changes the fact of how it happened, not who did it, not where she went or anything like that. I do not believe in everything that I've seen, everything I've acquired, that child was ever abducted. I have not seen where that child was ever sold. There's nothing pointing in that direction, literally nothing. And like law enforcement says, it is not off the list. I can tell you it's on the bottom of it. It is not, it's just nothing. It's a nothing burger. It didn't happen. Then comes to the, her wandering off. I want to show you something. I wasn't prepared for this, but let me go ahead and show it to you guys anyways, because Jonathan Lee Riches was out at, let me see if I can put this. No, he's on YouTube. Was out at Rogersville on his way to Michigan, right? Let me just pull up his Jonathan. There he is. I want to show you something. And this is why I don't think she just wandered off. And if she had wandered off, why I believe she would have been found.
Why aren't you the landlord? Yes, you. Why aren't you the landlord?
Okay, we're going to skip the ad. Hold on a second. Let me pause this. And I'm going to refer you guys over to JLR's page to watch the entire segment of this. This is just what I'm going to show you guys. Now, it's very important that you do pay attention. So
in a quarter mile, sharp right onto Ben Hill Road.
All right, so I am approaching the home of Don and Candace Wells in the middle of the night. Where's Summer Wells? I'm trying to give you a perspective of what it looks like out here at night.
All right.
We're off into. There's like no light out here.
Look at that. Look at how dark it is. That little light.
And there is nothing out here.
So that is all I'm going to show you. If you guys want to go watch that, please do. That is on his YouTube channel. I think it's important that you guys have the perspective. But listen, a 5-year-old child. Oh, sorry. A 5-year-old child. Remember, she disappeared later in the afternoon, evening time, right? So the call to law enforcement that she was missing didn't happen until 6:30. And I'm still trying, that timeline after they got home still is not jiving with everything that they said happened after they got home, with her only being at her mom's house for 5 minutes and her coming out at 5:30, you know, realizing that Summer was, none of those timelines add up related to her timing. Okay, it doesn't add up, and we'll have to discuss that another time. But this is why I did not think that Summer wandered off, because she wandered off in the evening hours, which means that she would have had, before it got dark, maybe 2.5 hours to keep wandering. Okay. And as soon as it became that dark, it would have been pitch black. That child would have been terrified out there in that wilderness, not being able to come home in that dark, you could not see a thing. All you could see was a tiny little glow at the top of a mountain that was her home. So even if she did get lost, she would have been able to look up, see that light, and start going toward that light. But if she was out there and wandered too far and did not see that light, what would she have done? She would have probably sat on the ground, screamed, and cried because she was terrified. She could not see to walk. It was so black. Jonathan described it to me that it was scary black, even for him as a grown man. He couldn't, when he turned the lights off on his car, he said it was, you couldn't see anything. You couldn't see your hands in front of your face. You could not see anything. So the idea that a child would have still been able to walk in the dark with all that foliage, all those trees, the animals that come out at night, I'm sorry, it is just not going to happen. It is just not going to happen. And I'm not talking about big bears and coyotes and things of that nature. I'm pretty sure, you know, you got to remember that law enforcement had over 1,000 bodies on that ground searching for that child. 1,000 people searching. And I want to say, what was it? It was multiple days. So, and we went on to their Twitter page, and you could see all the other missing people that they found. Elders, children, everything. Found, right? So the idea that this child just kept walking for 24 hours a day for 3 or 4 days off the reservation, it does not hold water. So in my mind, the abduction theory doesn't hold water. The wandered off theory does not hold water. And then, of course, you take your experience, you put in statistics, and then you have the parents. Every time we try to move and look at this direction or move and look at that direction, it always came back to Don and Candace Wells. Yeah, it's pretty big, that lawsuit. It's pretty big. That is sad. I pray for you. I pray for her family too. That's Well, I have a little plug because I'm, you know, when I'm in my car, I don't mind running it, and I have a plug, an extension cord, a 3-way, and I'm good to go. Everything's ran out of the car. The car is the best generator I've got, right? Oh my goodness. So I'm missing a lot of questions. I hope you guys are answering your own questions in the chat. I do apologize about that. So let's get on to the meat and potatoes. I'm running out of daylight and I have to kill this. So we're just probably going to watch. I think I'm going to go ahead and put, I think we're going to hold Hunter off until I get situated on Friday. I'll come live from the campground and we'll discuss this case a little further. So just to let you know, I may come live tomorrow, but it's not going to be, we may discuss some of the cases, but I'm not going to have videos. I'm not going to have it, you know, the thumbnail or anything like that. It's going to just be while I'm on the road, just to say hi and let you guys know I'm doing okay and stuff like that, as I normally do. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you found your dog, Baby Yoda. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of things, but that's why I don't think she wandered off. And I'm so thankful that JLR gave us the perspective that he gave us by going up there. You know, many of you guys know I tried to set up a interview or a visitation with Don Wells that he rejected. It was all set up and approved, and he chose not to come live. I knew that at that point he truly was lawyered up, because ever since this case started and ever since I have personally been involved, we have not been able to shut that man up. Anybody and everybody that he could talk to, he would talk to, whether it was like dog crap or not, he'd still talk to them. Good morning, Vicky. And so it was awfully odd that for the first time, especially how many times you guys heard yourself, how many times he invited me to meet with him and how he would be happy to have me at his house and this, that, and the other. And, you know, so the idea that he just all of a sudden just doesn't talk to me, knowing my position, like I've never lied about who I was, what I thought of him. And I was still able to speak with him, still able to have access to him, did not need to go through Benny Keys for that, and did not need to be his friend to get that. So, and then finally, he doesn't want to say anything and hasn't been heard of since going to jail in the Hawkins County Jail, which again, Jonathan went up there to try to see if he would be willing to speak with him in person, and that didn't work out either. So I do believe that everything that the law enforcement's been telling us about them not cooperating and them lawyering up is to be factually true. So anybody that's wanting to doubt law enforcement on this matter is a fool, because I have no reason to doubt law enforcement. And as a matter of fact, we back the blue here at the Bullhorn Betty channel. While I don't understand why they're not being charged with some crimes, why they're able to stay and have their freedom, and why they were able to have their freedom for so many months after Summer had disappeared, is beyond me. And here's why. We're going to get into it now. This is just to give credit to Chris McDonough for his great coverage of this case. Early on, he jumped on board. He was able to get major players and get them interviewed out the gate, and just kudos to him. This is of the home where Summer lived. This is of the home where Summer lived. Many of you guys have seen this interview over and over again. We are going to play it, and we are going to discuss it, and then I've got to shut everything down and start getting ready to hit the road. And again, we will save Hunter, and we will come back to this video because we're going to compare this video. We're going to come back to the two videos that we did yesterday afternoon, which was Candace's statement at the water hole. Now we're going to do Candace's statement here at the house and Hunter's statement. We are going to talk about all four of those videos either Friday or Monday. Now, I'm saying Monday with a hesitation because Monday is the day that my divorce is going to be official. Let's hope. Let's hope. I told my ex, I said, I can't wait. He's kind of happy. I'm happy. I said, after we get done, we are going to go across the street. We are going to have a cocktail, and we are going to have a slice of pizza to celebrate, him and I. We were friends, guys. I mean, a lot of people think that when you're getting a divorce because you hate each other and you're at each other's throat. It was just the opposite. We had basically split up years prior to us actually officially getting the divorce. He was living in one room. I was living in the other. We worked together. Obviously, you can't work together if you're not kind and friendly and da-da-da-da. But our marriage was so toxic that we had to split up in order to survive. You know, and it just got to the point where 4.5 years later, I was done. I'm ready to move on with my life. I'm ready to, you know, even though I've just dumped him and I haven't really gone anywhere. I'm not really doing anything, and you know, in that aspect of my life, it's just still I'm ready. I'm ready. You know, I'm ready to move on, and I'm happy. He's already moved on a few times. He's a man. What can I say? But I'm happy. You know, I'm happy to see him happy. So either way, Monday April 11th, I hopefully will be walking away. We'll be walking away with papers in hand. So wish me luck. So depending on how everything is going to be working, you know, on Monday, I may or may not go live. Depends on how I'm feeling. You know, depends on timing and everything, because I've got to be to court. And, you know, I'm sure, even though I'm excited, I will be a little nervous. And, but just looking forward to the day. It's been a long time coming. Crazy thing. Him and I didn't argue over anything. Literally nothing. I said, let's do this way, this way. He's like, sure, done. Right? Let's go to the courthouse, get this paperwork filed. Well, a year. It's been a freaking year. We're not even arguing about anything. Like, everything was done literally the day that we filed our divorce papers. Everything was divided. Everything was split up. He moved out. Everything was done. It was done. Like, all I'm waiting for is a stupid paper. And I have to wait a flipping year for a stupid paper that says you're officially divorced. All right. That's my tangent for the day. All right. Let's get on. Let's move on, shall we? Shift 6. Hi, Patty. Hi, Rebecca. Sorry. I keep hitting something when I do that. I'm not sure why. Aw, thank you. What I truly wish is that Chris would have angled his camera down right from that spot right there. So people got the perspective of the drop off the mountain, right? We only had the angle going up the mountain, and you really couldn't see the perspective that we were trying to convey to everybody. Chris said it was a difficult drive up the drive, so steep. Yes, absolutely, Pink Phoenix. Thank you. But that is why it makes it so difficult. And I've said this over, and those people that have been following me from out the gate should know that I have been saying from the beginning, the reason why the abduction theory doesn't hold water is because of the difficulty of the grade of this mountain. Unless you came up the driveway, it is next to difficult. And you're going to hear Candace in this video talk about the creek that runs around the house. And while it does only have a little bit of water in it, it's still a 2 to 3 foot drop in that creek to cross that little bit of water to climb back up to get to the road. So we're going to go through that. I just wanted to give you some commentary before we moved on. Yes, happy birthday to your daughter, by the way, Karen.
Hey.
Also, the dogs, this isn't even remotely a quarter of the dogs that were at this property at the time Summer disappeared. And you can hear them barking. You can hear them carrying on. So, and some of the dogs that were up there were very vicious. Yeah. I never even thought about that. Never even thought about that, Baby Yoda. Now,
You know, I have much more respect for what you're telling me by standing here, and I got my little camera here, so. But I'm looking at this terrain, and I'm going, holy cow! She could have even. There's a million possibilities here down there, and there's the road down there.
Yeah, that's the road. That's my mom's house.
Okay.
Like literally, it's.
And this right here.
Usually.
You can't see the drop, but him walking up there, you can see. I mean, let me just back up here. I want you guys to look at this. Watch this closely. Look at the drop as he's walking up.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the road. That's my mom's house.
Okay.
Boom, down. There's the ledge.
And this right here.
Usually you can see the road because they have went through here and mowed and took down a bunch of stuff away from the power lines.
Okay.
But usually it's full up. You can't even see the road.
That day, though, how was it? Was it full up, or
They
was
actually,
it like this?
that day and a few days prior to that, they were working on this.
Okay.
So I've even come to a conclusion maybe one of them people have snatched it.
Oh, interesting.
Because they were all the way up here.
Yeah, I see those, the path down there. I see the tracks down there.
Yep.
You over there.
And they were all the way up here to my light pole.
Okay. And you told TBI all this, right?
I told TBI this, yes.
Okay. Okay. And yeah, I can see the cars going by. That is not far from your property.
Mm-mm.
And even though we can see the road, you guys have seen, if the ones that have been following me this whole time have seen our footage of that road, and there's no place to park. Literally no place to park. So getting to you, Pebbles, I think the dogs know where. That might be the reason why all the dogs disappeared. Just saying.
Is there a holler down there? I mean, is there a river of some sort?
The creek runs all the way around my property.
And how deep is the creek? Okay, just so it's like an inch, inch or two. Okay.
You'd be lucky to get wet enough to do anything.
Okay. All right, so let's pick it up from where, and I'm going to just use this little one. Is that okay? Okay, so from where, when you got home, now she's leaning.
My mom's truck parks here.
Okay, your mom's truck's right here.
Yes.
Okay, so when she's leaning against the milk, is she sleeping?
She was sleeping, yes.
Okay. From exhaustion from that day?
Yes, she was. Where I woke her up early and she usually sleeps until 9, 10, even 12 o'clock if I let her.
Okay. How did the milk bottles get rearranged?
That's a total contradiction to what Jose said about Summer getting up early, very early. Sometimes he would wake up to use the restroom at 7 o'clock and she's already outside on her swing. So just thought I would throw that out there.
Hunter said he had them on the floor and then he put them next to him.
They weren't.
Is that true?
No.
Okay, so walk me through that.
When we dropped them off, they were actually still on his lap.
Okay.
And he put them on the other side of Summer.
Okay. So he reached over?
Yeah, he set them over there by that. There's a black tote she had in there.
Okay. Where's that tote at?
I think actually my mom's got it still in her truck. It's got a bunch of crafts and stuff in it.
Okay. Got it. And now from when you pulled up, did she just fall asleep next to that?
She fell asleep, I'd say maybe 5 minutes on the road.
Okay. Got it. And then, so walk me through, you get home, you take the groceries inside. Is Don home, by the way?
No, he's
Okay.
not.
Okay.
Actually, I parked the truck and I opened both doors. It's really hard because this lawnmower of his. But I opened the doors up and I shook her. I said, wake up, we're at home. She jumped right up.
Okay.
Like nothing. I unbuckled her and I said, come on. I said, Mom, I'll be right back. Went in there and he got the boys and they were sitting at the table. And I said, come on, let's get the groceries out. And we brought them all in the house, went through them all, did all that.
And this is that's her swing.
That's her swing right there.
Come show me her swing. Why is this, and who's this?
That is Smoking Boots. That's my boys' cat.
And how many dogs do you have here on the property? About?
Honestly, I don't know because people just keep dropping them off.
Hi. I know. Okay. Sorry. So this is her swing.
That's her swing.
This is her playground.
Yep.
And she loved this area. Boy, you know, I'm looking at this, and this terrain, Candace, just strikes me as being so dense and just. Is that they say the dog trail? Where's this dog trail thing? That
I'm not sure, honestly.
There's
That statement just, I'm telling you, literally infuriates me. So you're saying that this child was abducted, that you believe that the abductor came up this dog trail, yet you have no clue where this dog trail is? Another problem I have with this entire statement.
so many of them.
The dogs go in every different
Yeah, I
way.
saw the dogs came out of the woods as we were pulling up.
Yeah,
Okay.
they do that all the time.
Okay.
That trail right there, my boys, they ride those dirt bikes that are leaning against the truck over there.
Okay.
You can see there's one of them.
Okay.
And they
Those are like 50 cc's, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one ain't. I think it's only like 25, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, they go down that trail with their dirt bikes and then come back up on the road, up on the driveway and go around and stuff.
What was it about this swing that is just so important for her?
She liked it. She just liked to swing. All the kids did.
Now, I don't want to talk about the boys right now because I know that's, you know, a tough another part of your heart. Okay. Yeah. And that's none of my business. Right. I'm not here for any of it. You know what I mean? I'm not here to judge anybody. Right. I'm here to talk about Summer and help you find Summer. Okay. And help anybody find her. Okay. That messaging. Okay. So you go into the house.
I'm going to stop right here because this is the entrance into their home, right? This is the entrance into their home. You see that camper right here? It has a perfect view to this door right here. So where would this abductor be able to come in, go past the children? You're about to see where the children were sitting, to go down to the basement to grab Summer. Again, does not hold water. Does not hold water.
House.
Go in the house.
Can I follow you in, or you comfortable with that? Huh?
I don't know what about it. It's still the cat food.
And is this they're going to attack me?
No.
Oh, I was just I'm teasing you. The dog's going to attack me. So this is the scaffolding you're talking about.
Yeah, that's my.
Okay, so she comes up, jumps up, and goes right in.
Yep.
Okay. How many cats? You know what? You should have like a zoo license. You know, I'm seeing all kinds of critters, which is good. Okay, where's Summer's bed?
Oh, it's in the basement.
Got it. Okay. So what happens when she comes in? The boys are playing where?
No, the boys are actually sitting here.
Okay.
And they're actually sitting right here at the table watching TV.
Okay, so they're at the table watching TV. Okay.
They're all locked in.
Now, let's see if I can do this. I want to show you guys this. Many of you guys that have been watching my channel, we have discussed this document right here many, many times. So for those that are just joining or haven't been following me from the beginning of this case, this is the work aid for CPS to define abuse and neglect. This is the document that defines abuse and neglect. And I want to talk about environmental neglect. We're going to see some more of this. Let me see if I can get that right. See, environmental neglect. And I just want to read this to you, okay? A living situation either inside or outside the residence that is dangerous or unhealthy. Dangerous or unhealthy. Oh, sorry. Dangerous or unhealthy. Let's keep going. This situation described can cause harm or significant risk of harm to the children in the home. These are some examples. Leaky gas from a stove or heating unit, substances or objects accessible to a child that may endanger the health and safety. Open, broken, or missing windows. Structural hazards such as caving roofs, holes in the floor, or walls. We know that walls were missing. Exposed electrical wires. Right? Children that lack clothing and that are exposed to extreme elements or exposed to elements like not having shoes or warm clothes for the winter. Excessive garbage or rotting or spoiled food which threatens health. Not sure what you guys call this. Evidence of human or animal waste in living quarters. Insects or rodent infestation. Lack of or inability to obtain appropriate hygiene which threatens the health, well-being of the child, including allowing the child to bathe.
Nobody could get in, nobody could get out.
Okay. Now, who's your son up here?
That's my little sister that's missing.
Oh, that's Rose.
That's Rose.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Wow. And who's the guy?
That's her ex-husband.
Wow. Do you think he had anything to do with that?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, we don't want to go there.
Can't say.
How's your mom deal with that?
It's difficult.
Yeah, I know. You know I know, right? So, okay, watching TV, where's Summer?
Summer, she was with me.
Okay, so walk me through that.
All right, well, we walked up in here and we got Josie, Wyatt, and Waylon, the boys.
Right,
Well,
you put the groceries down, right?
Yeah, well, we went back out and then we brought the groceries in and put them down. And then Mom, she went and took her stuff to her house to put her stuff away.
Okay,
And then, of course, me and Summer went back over, put our stuff away.
okay. You went back in.
Yeah, me and Summer went back in the house. And then we were just doing normal stuff.
Okay.
On the house.
This contradicts her statement at the water hole that we saw yesterday. You know, they said that they got in. Let's talk about what we heard yesterday on this channel. So we were watching the conversation that she had. Again, Chris McDonough, true professional. He knows what he's doing. Even here, he's maintaining a very calm, cool, collective persona, agreeing with her, making her feel like this is no big deal. Just, you know, same old, you know, stuff. Very professional in his handling of this. Okay. But at the water hole, she says that they went to the store. They only got some milk, some cheese, a few other items. And even at the water hole stated that when they got back, they came in and got the boys, that they split up the food and grandma took her stuff over. She kept her stuff, blah, 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 blah. That's not what she just said here. Let's go back and listen to what she says here. Now, this is before they went to the water hole. These are the inconsistencies in the story that we keep finding, these small little details that should not be changing, that are constantly changing.
Stuff away.
Okay. You went back in.
Yeah, me and Summer went back in the house. I was put her stuff away.
Okay.
And then in here we got Josie, Wyatt, and Waylon, the boys.
Right.
Well,
you put the groceries down, right?
Yeah, well, we went back out and then we brought the groceries in and put them down. And then Mom, she went and took her stuff to her house to put her stuff away.
Okay.
And then, of course, me and Summer went back over, put our stuff away.
Okay. You went back in.
Yeah, me and Summer went back in the house. And then we were just doing normal stuff.
Okay.
On the house like we normally do. And I come out, Mom was sitting there at the time. I come out and I'm standing here. I was like, what are you doing? What are you staring at? She's like, these plants, I gotta get them transplanted. I was like, well, Summer will help us. So I went back in. By that time, she was sitting on the floor playing with her toys.
Right here?
No, in the kitchen where we were just at.
Okay.
She was actually sitting on the floor playing with the toys at that time.
Sitting on the floor. What area of the floor could she have possibly sat on with all that garbage and crap in that home?
I said, Summer, you want to help plant flowers? And she jumped up, left her toys and us, of course. That's cool.
Yeah, well, that's what kids do. It's their job.
Right.
Okay.
We walked over here and we transplanted these cactuses from the little pots that they were in. We transplanted these ones here into this bigger pot and that one into that bigger pot.
I have never heard a cactus be called a plant before. Just saying. Whatever.
And she took the rocks that we've gotten from different gem mines when we went up to Gatlinburg and stuff.
Okay.
And she's the one that spreaded all the rocks around in here. And then she put her puppies in here because she wanted Chase in there, you know.
Okay.
That was cool.
Where are those puppies now?
What do you mean?
Oh, the little puppies.
Yeah,
These
little.
Oh, yeah, those little guys. Oh, that's Paw Patrol.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the police one.
Yep, that's Chase. He's always on the case.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I see another one over here.
She put him in there. Yeah, you're on the cactus.
Okay. Don't take those out, okay?
No, I leave them right there.
I know.
Then we went in my mom's. Well, we can't get in there.
Yeah, that's fine. Went in there.
We went in there and got some candy and stuff. She gets from grandma.
Okay.
And I said, well, I'm going to go back over to the house. She wanted to go back, so I said I'd go back, you know.
Okay.
And I brought her, I literally walked over to here. Like, literally walked right to here where I could see the boys and on the kitchen table.
Got him.
And I watched her walk in there. And afterwards, when she was already in there, I walked over and I said, why? And he looked at me and I said, watch Sissy, I'll be right back. And that's when I walked back over to my mom's.
Okay.
And I was fixing her brace and stuff like that. And I said, well, Mom, I got to go back over with the kids. And that's when I come back up into the house.
Okay.
With the boys.
Okay. You walked into that.
Now here is where I've got a lot of problems with their whole time frame. So now remember, they went to the grocery store before they dropped Hunter off at his house. They dropped him off at his house at 2:30, right? If we go over to Jonathan's page, we will see that he actually did the timeline, the drive from Candace's home, which that's not where they were. They were in Kingsport, so they were even closer to their house. It's 24 minutes away from that location right there where they're at, Candace's home to Allie's house. They were already in Kingsport where Hunter and Allie live. She dropped him off at home, but she had to leave Allie's house to come back to her house, which took 24 minutes, which means she would have been there before 3 p.m. So she's saying that she called law enforcement. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong here. I know, right? Right? But correct me if I'm wrong here. They said they called law enforcement at 6:30 at night? Or was it 6? I'm going to wait for people's response. Who knows this? Who knows for sure what they said related to the timing of when Summer Wells was called in missing? I haven't gotten a response yet. I believe he said he showed up 6:30. So they would have arrived at home at right around, let's just say, give them a few extra minutes in case there was some traffic, 3:15. Okay, so 6:30, that's what I thought. So 3:15. So you're talking about 2 hours and 45 minutes to unload groceries, plant cactus, and fix a brace. That all sounds like the way she's describing all happened within a half hour and boom, she's gone, which means that she would have disappeared around, say, 4:15. So why did it take her 2 hours to report her daughter missing? What am I missing here? This is the time frame. This is the time issues that I have a problem with their story. This is a problem that I have with their story. Right here.
House.
I walked into here. Get up. I walked in here and them three were sitting right here in front with their eyes glued to the TV. Like always. And I said, boys, where's your sister at? Well, she just went downstairs, Mom, to play. So I went over here like this. So this is where the stairs are.
Okay.
It's actually down under there.
Oh, down into her.
Now tell me, that is not creepy. You have stairs hidden from everybody with all that trash and junk around your house, and look at that little cubby hole to get down to what I call a dungeon. The video milk thing was at 3:09. She should have already been home. Southern Mountain Girl says.
Down in
bedroom.
Our bedroom, and then hers is on the other side.
Oh, okay, in the basement.
Yeah, in the basement.
Well, this makes sense now, see?
And then I yelled and I said, Summer. And she didn't. I listened for a minute. I didn't hear nothing. So I went like this. Is this how I would get down here?
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to come down here or not.
Do I got to be tiny to get in there?
No, you can
we come in from the other side?
Well, we can, but it make more sense if you went this way.
Okay, I'll follow you. Oh, man. Good.
No, I know if my 6-foot husband can fit down here, you can.
Huh?
My husband's 6 foot. I know if he can fit, you can.
This. Oh, my gosh. Way to go.
This is mine.
I want to show you guys something. Let me see if I can back up here. I want you guys to see this.
Huh?
My husband's 6 foot. I know if he can fit, you can.
This.
Those right there are wires. That is a fire. This whole house is a fire hazard.
Oh my God.
Look at that. Those are electrical wires. That's electrical wires. And you kind of hear, I don't think Chris meant, because he's been trying to be calm and he's been trying to act like this is normal and everything like that. I don't think those are his involuntary reactions, right? Like, oh my God, like he's starting to be shocked as he's seeing, hey, Sonia, nice to see you in here, honey. He's starting to become shocked at what he's seeing. He is absolutely floored at this point, and he can't control himself. Like, as professional and as well put together as he is in pure, utter shock at this moment. So let's keep moving.
Gosh. Way to go.
This is my husband's room.
Okay.
And over here, well, it's a mess again.
That's all right.
But this is where Summer and little Waylon was, because Waylon's only 9.
Okay.
And they stayed down here. And these are all her toys.
And I want to tell you, those where she says those are all of her toys, she's acting like there's a mountain of toys there. If you guys notice, there's hardly anything for that child to play with. That is just garbage down there. And I want you guys to pay attention to the windows. The windows, it almost appears that there is tinfoil on their window. It might be covering, it might be a blind or so, but even the parents' room has no blind, but the child's room in this back area where you can't see has this dark covering over the window where only the top is just exposing a little bit of light in this very, very dark dungeon type room. It is, to me, creepy. Creepy. Watch the window. I'm going to try to pause it when it gets there.
Her movies. She's got a movie about the Savior.
The boys I brought back down here after she went missing because I didn't want them upstairs by themselves anymore.
Okay. And this is all her toys.
All her toys. All these toys that are down here are all her. except for like the trucks and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the game system. That's the boys'.
Okay.
But them are all her toys.
And she's really into Paw Patrol. I see.
Yeah, I've been collecting from day one. And these are all her little ponies.
Boom. Look at that. That is a little odd for me to see in a room that is attached to her parents' room, that they have this tinfoil window that people can't see through. Right? Creepy. Creepy. Now let's look at the parents' room. It's going to pan over there, and you're going to see the parents' room. They don't have anything covering their windows, which is kind of gross to me because everybody can see their business, you know, their husband-wife business going on in that room, which is just it.
That we've bought. And then these are them girls that she likes. Them new fashion, I don't know what they are, little princesses or whatever. She's like all kinds. Here's one of them bracelets.
Oh, that's just one of them. What do they call these? Oh, this is little pony bracelets.
Yeah, I don't know what they were really called, but she liked them, and so I just every time I go to the garage sale, I'd buy her what she wanted.
Okay.
You know, whenever I got a little bit of money, I spend it on the kids.
Yeah, this is her.
Laura, I don't believe Dotson had anything to do with it. Just FYI, I know you're putting stuff in cap letters and stuff like that, but I don't believe anything that Dotson had anything to do with it. I'm sorry.
This is, I understand her now.
Yeah.
Even better. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is really important.
But yeah, I come down and I searched. I looked up underneath the beds under there. We can't really get them. I can't get them.
Yeah.
But I looked under there, looked under every blanket.
Tinfoil over the windows in this back room in this dungeon.
Possibly look under.
Yep.
And then I come over here.
Let me go back. Yet they don't. Yet they don't.
I looked on both sides. I didn't see nowhere. And I don't recall if this was locked or not. I don't recall that.
Okay.
We have been told by multiple people, obviously it's been corroborated by multiple people, eyewitnesses, that door was always locked and there was a couch in front of it. A couch.
But I know, it's hard on that. But I know I did come out here and I said, Summer, because sometimes she'll sit right here and just sit here and play just for, you know. And usually when she comes out and she goes directly that way up to the swing.
Oh, okay. So this is like her.
Yeah,
where she come running out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You can see the path here.
Right to the swing.
Right. You can see where she could have run right up to
and
here.
this is all the further she would go. She wouldn't leave.
Okay.
She wouldn't go nowhere else.
Okay. I want to go around this side. What is this blue thing here?
Oh, that was we were putting trash in it.
Okay.
So that blue thing has me concerned because there was many of those around the house, including down at the bottom of the road. Down at the bottom of the road. And they've been putting trash in it. And that is pretty, that's pretty large. I mean, look at that. Hold on. Oh, there's that tinfoil over the freaking windows. Look at that. That is pretty large for trash. And yet they say they put trash in it, but there's trash literally everywhere. So what trash do they put in those bins? Hi, Prairie. Nice to see you.
We were putting trash in it.
Okay.
And we did have a trash man at the time, but he stopped running.
Oh, wow.
I gotta wash this.
Okay. I'm going to film around this side. Now walk me through, what's this little...
Oh, that right there?
Little cave thing there.
That's not really a cave. Actually, we built this addition, me and Donnie and the kids.
Oh, okay.
And we left this part open because the dog, at the time, we did have little puppies. These dogs were little puppies.
Uh-huh.
And we let them go under there. They would run in and out of the bricks over there. There's actually 7 pups up under there now.
Okay.
And it's always been open like that.
I want you to pay attention to how many vehicles they own on this property.
You can see after you've been here, you can see how mellow the dogs are.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's what they do.
And they're kind of a Jack Russell. They got a little Jack Russell.
Jack Russell, yeah. Actually, the gentleman that lives over there in the other trailer across the creek actually has the mama to that dog there.
Mm-hmm.
This is what little Summer lived with every single day. This was her life in her short 5 little years. Yes, one is Chris's car, but we're talking about all those right there. Look at those, everything. There's a lot of vehicles.
Now, what's this little shed over here?
Oh, that one there?
Yeah.
That's where Donnie keeps all his tools.
Got it. Hey, can I go look? No.
You can go look, but it's a mess.
No. Okay. No, it's up. Okay, that's fine.
Nothing in there.
Yeah, no worries. I don't want to get in.
I don't want you to get hurt.
Well, and you know, and I don't want other people to.
I don't let my kids in there either.
Yeah, no problem.
Not a place for...
I totally respect that. That's not an issue. But I think this is interesting because this is, you can really clearly see where she runs on this path down here.
It's not the prettiest house in the world, but...
Huh?
I said it's not the most beautiful house in the world.
You know what? It's a house.
It's a
you know what?
See how Chris calms her?
You know, God forbid, you know, anybody judge you for having a bad house. You know, I mean, it is what it is. At least you're putting food on the table.
No, they weren't.
Trying to do your best. I saw. And this is your. This is where you do your fire for the kids. Is that an old generator?
Yeah.
Does it work? No, did it at some point?
It worked like over 14, 15 years ago, way before I was here.
Old school bus, you gonna turn that into a camper?
That was my mom's plan. I literally actually rode in that.
Laura Hargis, I do not believe there's no evidence she was sold for money. There's no evidence she was abducted. There's no evidence of that. You can sit in here all day long. I'm not trying to be rude, but all the stuff that you're peddling in this chat is all incorrect. And I would ask you, before you peddle anymore, prove it. That's all I'm asking. Because everything that we're talking about is well documented, has video evidence, has firsthand knowledge interview evidence. What you're peddling is theories and speculation, which I don't mind theories and speculation, but just say it's your opinion, please. Please say it's your opinion. It's not fact, and it has never been proven, nor is it going to be proven.
Bus when I was a little kid.
Whenever I see a school bus, I always ask that question.
I did.
Okay, tell me about it.
Me and my mom and Summer and the two boys, not Josie, going north, but Wyatt and Waylon rode up to north to get that from my mom's friend's house. And I drove her truck and she drove the school bus back.
That's awesome. This is rough terrain. Let's go look at the, tell me about this area over here.
This is just pretty much scrap metal, really.
And do you trade the scrap metal in for cash?
No.
Sometimes, no?
No, it just sits there.
And this is Mom's trailer right here?
This is my mom's camper.
Okay. And these are the flowers with her little buddies. I'm going to get a good picture of that. Her Paw Patrol This is so sweet. These are Summer's little toys there. There's one there. Then there's this guy right here. Then this is Casey on the case.
It's Chase.
Okay. I love it.
Got Chase on the case and you got Rubble on the double.
And you have, obviously, somebody made you a cool shirt. I want to show everybody that shirt again. That Mom on Patrol for Summer. Wow. And this is that road down behind the property. Back there you can see. So, Miss Candace, while I'm out here, is there anything that you feel is important that you'd want to tell the world that I haven't asked you, that you want to let them know?
Not really, just hope that everybody that's looking for her, that we can find her and bring her home safely.
Okay.
She was very precious to me.
Okay. And the authorities are working hard on this.
Yes, from what I understand, yes.
Okay. And, you know, we're going to let them do their job.
Yes, sir.
Right?
That's right.
And you're cooperating, obviously.
Yep.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. And now there is a rumor of
They're cooperating 100%.
about these polygraph tests. Clear that up.
All right. The first one that I took, and I didn't really take it because they kind of threw me in the back of the squad car, so I was really upset and, you know, just I was crying my eyes out.
Okay.
And so when I got up there to the courthouse, we tried to do it, but I couldn't do it.
Okay.
So we waited a few days, and then I went back and I did it.
So she was supposed to take a polygraph test. She gave it a try. She didn't do well. She had to wait a few days. A few days. Who has to wait a few days to take a polygraph test? She had to wait a few days to take a polygraph test. Now, how do we know she didn't go and test herself or read up on the internet how to pass a polygraph test in those few days? Just something to throw out there. Northern Light, nice to see you in here. We, based upon information that we've acquired, now we don't have, any kind of telephone data, electronic data to prove that Hunter didn't go back to the home. It's just based upon Candace's statement as well as Hunter's statement. He didn't go back to the house after the swimming hole. And it wouldn't make sense for him to go back to her house after the swimming hole because he lived in Kingsport where they went and did all these activities. They went to the hospital was there. The Walgreens was there. The hippie house was there. Catch 22 was there. The stores were there. The Sonic was there. So it wouldn't make sense for her to bring him back to her house and then turn around and drive him back to his house. Could it have happened? Of course it could have happened. I don't believe it did happen. Hi, Snow. Based upon the information we received. But again, this is based upon Hunter and Candace's statement. And our knowledge of the area and where these places are located in Kingsport where Hunter lives. That's why we say he didn't go back to the house. Could he have? Of course. Of course. It just doesn't make sense that she would bring him all the way back to the house to take him all the way back to Kingsport.
I passed it.
Okay.
So that was that.
Okay. And then what about the rumors of this relationship situation with Hunter?
Are you crazy?
I
got a husband and 4 kids that I love to death.
Okay.
And multiple men to boot.
To me, Hunter was another one of my kids.
Okay.
That's how I felt about any kid.
Okay. Now, when I was on the phone with you yesterday briefly, you said he got the story out of order.
Yeah.
Okay. But it sounded like he was kind of telling the truth there.
He was kind of telling the truth, but the way he was telling where we went and how we did it was all twisted up now.
What's different that you want to clear up?
Well, because when we left from the emergency room, we went straight to the smoke shop, and that's when I got the cigarettes and stuff like that there. And then we stopped at the hippie house, and I got those cheap vapes because they're cheap.
I'm telling you, there was limited vapes at that hippie house. I've got the video. You guys can search on my channel for hippie house. It'll show you there were only very limited vapes, no Skittle vapes.
There. And then we went and put my mom's prescription in, and then we went to Warriors, and then we come back to Walgreens, got mom's prescription, went to Sonic, then to Priceless, then to his house.
Okay.
And Laura, you keep acting like we haven't looked in all directions. We went out there on 2 separate occasions as a team and disputed most of those theories. So we have looked at all those directions. Law enforcement has spent 10 months looking at all those directions. It is not, whether or not they're saying there's no possibility, they're not. They're just saying there's no evidence of it. It's the lowest part on the list. That's what I'm trying to convey. You keep acting like nobody's looking in these directions. Everybody has looked in all these directions. They have been disputed and have been claimed as false. I'm telling you, I've looked. It's false. It's false. There is no evidence of a selling of a child. There's no evidence of this child being abducted. There's no evidence of this child wandering off. These are theories. And what we do have evidence of is that Candace has PTSD type symptoms every time she goes down to that watering hole. What we do have is evidence that Hunter has never been the same again since this day. We have evidence that it's almost next to impossible to abduct this child off that mountain due to the pitch of the sides of that mountain and the creek that drops 3 foot down that borders the entire circumference of that mountain. I really wish you would take the time. I don't know where you live in this country, but it can't be more than a few $100 to get in your car and go to this location and look at that mountain. That's what I ask you to do. So you can get the information. It's not me that needs to look in all directions. I've done the due diligence. Chris McDonough has done the due diligence. Law enforcement has done the due diligence. See what I'm saying? So maybe it's time for you to, is all I'm saying. No disrespect whatsoever. I value all opinions here, but I've been watching this chat. I've been watching the things that you're saying, and those are your opinions. Those are your speculation, but I need you to put something behind that speculation. What have you done to confirm this information that you're stating in this chat? Because if all you've done is sit behind a keyboard, that's not very fair to the rest of the people that have gone out there and actually done physical work to dispute all these other avenues. See what I'm saying? Again, not trying to be rude, but you keep pushing and harping, and after I'm glad you've used your opinion. Thank you for that. But please, I mean, how can you formulate an opinion when the work hasn't been done to formulate that opinion is my question. That's all. That's all. Thank you for being here.
And that's exactly
that's the order. Okay.
Morning,
so he had it different from what you remember.
Right.
Okay. So right.
That's not what I remember. It's how it was.
Okay, because you're driving.
That's the truth.
Yeah, you're driving.
Morning, summer.
And what about? He said that he asked you for the tea, and that you gave him a tea.
He didn't ask me for nothing.
Okay,
He asked me for a Mountain Dew.
Okay.
I got him a Mountain Dew.
Okay, where did the Orange Crush come from on the?
Not one time has a Mountain Dew been brought up in this entire conversation. I just want to point that out to everybody.
Seat with Summer.
That was my mom. She was drinking that and then didn't want no more.
And what about the candy on the seat?
And she's trying again to allege that her mother, that just got out of the hospital, that was just got an injection in her knee, that was just prescribed, probably narcotics, is out there drinking a twisted tea at what, 10:30 in the morning? Little odd. And we know the twisted tea wouldn't have been for her because she likes R&R Reserve.
Okay. Oh, that candy's been in there.
Okay. Okay. And what about the pillow?
The pillow? What pillow?
Oh, she's sitting on a pillow.
She's sit. Oh, Mom gets mad because if the kids get in their wet bathing suit and stuff, so I just put the pillow underneath her so Mom wasn't complaining.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
My question is, with all that trash on there, who gives a crap about wet seats?
Good. So there is a time frame here between this trailer and that house within, you said 2 to 10 minutes, maybe.
No, 2 to 5.
2 to 5. And then she goes in and now she's gone.
Oh.
What do you think happened? Where would a suspect have been, in your opinion, in this?
My opinion?
Yeah, in this area.
They could have been sitting anywhere. They could have been sitting over here, just off the little edge right here.
Now, I also want to bring up, I asked Don this very question. Now, this was many months after this interview was taken. And he could not tell me. And it makes me wonder if it's because they knew it didn't hold water and we would have been able to challenge him on that. She was not being challenged on this.
Or where the bus is, that little bushy area right there, they could have been sitting
right out here?
Yeah. And
okay, come show me.
What's up?
That's all right.
And I just recently found out that there was I guess he's a child molester.
Okay.
That lived literally 8 minutes from my house. He can literally walk from his house into my house within 8 minutes.
Okay.
And that bushy area right there, you can't really tell if anybody's crouched down there or anything.
What do the authorities think?
I don't know what they think. I really don't.
Okay.
And also, there were scent-specific dogs on that property. I would think that because people that are committing criminal conduct, if you remember, when they're tracking somebody, that they get off the scent when they're anxious or in fear or something like that. You would think those dogs would have hit on somebody being in the bushes.
I love this swing. This is summer.
So there you go, guys. There you go. So we're already at 2.5 hours for this segment. I wanted to go over the Hunter interview, but we ran out of time today. I behoove you to come back and join us again tomorrow. May go live, but it'll be driving. We'll have some type of discussion, but not any videos, not any real in-depth discussions that we have. As soon as I get set up and I get things situated at the site, I will go live on Friday at some point, probably early in the morning for our coffee club. But just know tomorrow it's going to be hit and miss with me. And I mimic a lot of the anger and frustration that a lot of my audience has related to this case. And it's sad because this is a child that disappeared in her parents' custody. And as much as we want to believe that something happened to her that they did not have anything to do with, unfortunately, every time we turn around, everything keeps going back to that area, keeps going back to those parents, even law enforcement. They are signaling to us that the parents are not cooperating. They have lawyered up, and the searches are in and around their property. That is the tale. I hear what is being said by law enforcement, but actions, right, speak louder than words. And law enforcement actions are not matching up with the words that they are saying. So it, to me, sounds like they believe there's foul play, in my opinion. And they believe that the parents are responsible, in my opinion. The information that we've acquired, why we have been out there. Now, remember, we've had 2 trips with the team. Jonathan was just recently out there. There were a few other YouTubers that chose to go out there and see what's really going on. So very thankful for that. And the people that have actually gone out to the property, now this is not the Benny Keys and the Cams and the Alleys. This is real people that are putting their thinking noggin on and looking, that have arm's length distance and not trying to be the friends of the primary people of interest in this case. They're keeping their minds clear of the outside influence of Don and Candace. And when they go there and see that mountain and see the roads and see there's no parking for cars, there's no place to park a car. How is somebody going to abduct a child when there's no place for their getaway car? When they see all that for themselves, the light bulb goes off on their heads. And they realize this is next to impossible. I mean, any other houses, there's low-lying houses all around that property. And you said that there was an abduction. It would be more believable. But it's their property. It's their property up there that's making it unrealistic for somebody to go up there. 21 dogs. No way to get to the house except the driveway. There's a creek, almost like a moat, around the entire property. And while it does only have, I think at most, maybe a foot of water in that creek, it drops down 2 to 3 feet. So it just doesn't hold water. That just doesn't hold water. And, I'm not going to be able to, I'm not here to convince people. I'm here to provide information and you formulate your own opinion. That's what I'm trying to do. And if your opinion differs from mine, so be it. But, like Laura, she's very opinionated about her stance on a lot of things, and that's okay. But I'm bringing video evidence. I'm bringing statements from people that have firsthand knowledge. That's how I'm formulating my opinion. I'm not thinking in my head, oh, well, this could have happened and that could have happened. When I think of those things, I actually go out and do the work to find out if it's provable or disprovable. And I wish other people would do that when it comes to them coming in chats and peddling information, because we just had the law enforcement, the lead detective on this case. We just had him talk about people doing that. Their opinions, them calling in their opinions with no factual basis. Well, I was going to go out there, but I realized from my location to North Carolina, it's 5.5 hours. And 5.5 hours, in the grand scheme of things, guys, it costs money to do these things. And right now we're raising money for our Michigan trip in May. If you guys would like me to go out there, 5.5 hours and 5.5, that's 11 hours. You take 11 hours of driving. That's not even my time. You're talking about a half a day to go out there, which I will do on Sunday if you guys want me to. But I'm going to need help from the audience to get there. So I'll leave that up to you guys. willing to go out there, willing to call Reverend Donna, willing to, do that. But gas ain't cheap, guys. It just isn't. It just isn't. And trust me, and no matter how many YouTubers out there say I'm making millions of dollars on this channel is crazy. We would all be raising money to buy it. Absolutely. Hello, my pal. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, of course. I don't blame Cam and Allie. I really don't. They seem like nice people, but they got sucked in. They got sucked in and they became their friends. And what I'm trying to say is when you need to look at cases, you have to have an arm's length from everybody that could potentially be involved. You cannot be their friend. You cannot go hang out with them. You cannot have Thanksgiving. You cannot break bread with them, because it changes your mindset and it takes you from being analytical and being able to, your perception changes when you're somebody's friend as opposed to being an arm's length distance. Northern Light, I agree with you. I don't think bad of Cam and Allie. I really don't. A lot of my issues that I had early on were skewed by information that was being provided to me by a person, right? I did a lot of stupid shit. Excuse my language, sorry. Did a lot of stupid stuff because of the environment I was in. And I put myself in that environment, right? I've removed that issue. I've removed that issue. And so, I mean, just to clarify, I have no ill will to Cam and Allie. Quite frankly, I have no ill will to Benny Keys. I'm frustrated with him. I will call him out when I think he's doing wrong. And I'm sure he has no problem calling me out when I do wrong. But I try very hard not to do wrong, right? I try to be as focused as I can possibly be focused. But I can't be a person of interest friend or support them without knowing whether they're guilty or not guilty. I will never spend one penny of my money to support somebody that could be a monster. I would never be able to forgive myself or sleep at night if I did that. And I wish they would have taken a step back and realized there was a better way for them to have handled their business than the way they did. My opinion. I have no ill will toward them. I just want to make sure that's clear. I have no ill will toward them. Hi, Marie. Hope you're doing well. He wasn't even in the area. Just because his dad lives there doesn't mean he was there. And it's a far stretch from a young boy looking at stuff on his computer to snatching a little girl. I'm sorry, it just is. There's different elements of stuff people don't realize. I know you're reading about him in the paper, and you're reading about this, and you're reading somebody else's opinion about that. But factually speaking, how can he snatch a kid when he wasn't even in the area? It's hard to do that when you're 45 minutes away. Let me see how many miles it is. 20 miles to the gallon. Hold on a second. All right, here. So it'd be Rogersville. Let's move this over here and we'll share the screen. Let me share the screen so we can all see what I'm looking at here. make it bigger, don't I? Yeah. There we go. So it is about 5 hours and 40 minutes away from where I'm going to be. And I don't know how many miles that is. Let me see if it gives you a total mile. Let me just pop into this. Oh, 325.9 miles. Let me just do the calculations on this. 325.9 times 2 divided by 20. That's what I get. Miles to the gallon. So it's right about $138.51 to get there and back. I'll do it on Sunday because I'll sleep in the car on the way back if I need to get a couple hours of rest. But and then that'll give me a few hours to say I probably have 3 or 4 hours to, to stay there to do whatever. But yeah, if you want to get Reverend Donna, I will be 5.5 hours away. I'm happy to go there and happy to, help out if it puts people at ease. You guys know I have no problems going anywhere. I have no problems doing the work. I'll do whatever it takes to find this little girl. If you believe Reverend Donna can help locate her, I'm happy to go out there and give it a whirl. No Name Sally says she or he, I assume it's she, sorry, says 3 hours from Rogersville. Can you send me Donna's information at bullhornbetty@gmail.com and I'll communicate with you by email? Okay. It's to see. Sorry. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll give you my word. I will do that. I do not worry about it. Trust me. I do not worry about it. And not only that, if I go, I make sure everybody knows where I'm going and what I'm doing and the route I'm taking. And, I take precautions, but, again, I'm not invincible, but I pity the fool. I'm sorry. So at any rate, folks, we're almost to 3 hours. I just want to tell you guys, I love you. Yeah. Thank you, Snow. If you want me to go, I'll go. That's just raw costs. That's, no, and I'm not going to stay in a hotel or anything like that. My email's bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. So, yeah, I'm happy to do what I can for this baby girl. If that's what you guys think is in the best interest of this, I'll run with it. I have no shame. Yeah. Thank you, Snow. Absolutely. So at any rate, guys, I think you guys are amazing. I want to thank my audience, my subscribers, the members, sponsors. It takes a village in these things, and it's all about coming together. Even when we don't see eye to eye, I discussed, Riley Lively yesterday, how Olivia and her didn't see eye to eye, but, you put things aside for cases, and, it's rough. And same with Cam and Allie. Again, I have no ill will to them. I would love nothing more than to work with them one day on a case. As long as, and I even said that when I met them, this is not about them. It's not about me. You got to put those things aside for the sake of the case and the sake of the victim. And I hope one day, all these YouTube creators will quit fighting with each other and start working with each other, because we can accomplish so much more being a united front in these true crime cases and getting to the bottom of things much quicker. And, you know, think about it. Think of how powerful it would have been when Summer went missing and everybody jumped on board, all hands on deck, and we went out there and had a coordinated joint effort to search, to map, to take all of our resources, all of our strengths, all of our weaknesses, throw them on the table, and, you know, for the benefit of this child. Instead of fighting and having people chase you down, you know, run down a driveway with logs in their hands and stuff like that. Think about how much more powerful this network of YouTubers would have been to come together and be a united front for Summer Wells. It would have been an amazing, epic show of love and unity. And that's what's missing, in my opinion. Am I perfect? Of course not. Do I make mistakes? Of course I do, just like everybody else. But at some point, we have to acknowledge that. Accept it, embrace it, and move on. So with that being said, guys, I love you. God bless each and every one of you. We will be left to fight another day. We will be left to fight another day. We are not giving up on Summer. Law enforcement's not giving up on Summer. You're not getting up on Summer. And I want to thank all my moderators, subscribers, members, and viewers for being here today. God bless each and every one of you. I'm going out with my intro because I like it, and I got to make an exit one. Just don't know what I'm going to do yet. All right, guys, take it easy.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.